Today I want to talk about something that quietly shapes almost everything children do: how they learn, how they behave, how they make friends, and how they cope with challenges. Executive function, or EF, is a set of mental skills that help children manage their thoughts, emotions, and actions. These skills aren't fully formed in early childhood, they're developing rapidly, and they need support. When we understand EF, we can interpret children's behavior more compassionately and help them grow more effectively. Executive function is usually described through children's three core abilities. The first is working memory, the ability to hold information in mind and use it. For a young child, that might mean remembering a two-step instruction or keeping track of the rules of a game. The second is inhibitory control, the ability to pause, resist impulses, and think before acting. This is what helps a child wait their turn, keep their hands to themselves, or walk instead of run, rather than acting impulsively. The third is cognitive flexibility, the ability to shift attention, adapt to change, and see things from different perspectives. This helps children cope when plans change, when a game doesn't go their way, or when they need to switch from playtime to pack-up time. These skills matter enormously. In fact, executive function predicts early academic success more strongly than IQ or early literacy skills. Children with stronger EF tend to navigate social situations more smoothly, show better emotional regulation, and recover more quickly from frustration. An EF in early childhood is linked to long-term outcomes like mental health, academic achievement, and even employment stability. So when we support EF, we're not just helping children follow instructions, we're helping them build the cognitive foundation for lifelong learning and well-being. In everyday life, EF shows up in very familiar ways. A child who forgets instructions halfway through, unable to cope during transitions, struggles to wait, or becomes overwhelmed by multi-step tasks, is not being defiant or inattentive. Their brain is still wiring itself. Executive function is one of the last systems in the brain to fully mature, and early childhood is a critical window for development. The good news is that EF doesn't happen overnight, but is highly trainable. Small, everyday experiences make a big difference. EF develops through relationships, routines, language, and opportunities for practice. Warm, responsive interactions help children regulate their emotions. Predictable routines reduce cognitive load. Rich language exposure helps children organize their thoughts. And playful challenges, like remembering rules, waiting turns, or adapting to new situations, strengthen EF over time. Lack of routine, rules, respect and responsibilities can significantly impair EF, which is why calm, predictable environments are so important. Teachers as well as parents play a powerful role in supporting EF. Predictable routines help children know what's coming next. Visual supports and reminders like schedules and times reduce the demand on working memory. When adults model routines, organization, and plans by narrating their thinking out loud, children learn how to organize their own thoughts. Games like Simon Says, Red Light, Green Light, and memory matching strengthen EF through play. And transitions become easier when teachers give warnings, offer choices, and use consistent language. Emotion coaching also matters, Helping children name, talk about and regulate their feelings strengthens inhibitory control and flexibility. Parents can support EF in simple ways at home. Pretend play is incredibly powerful. It builds working memory and cognitive flexibility. Routines help children anticipate what comes next. Rules that children help form can regulate behavior. Sharing everyday responsibilities give a child ownership in family life. Games that require waiting or turn-taking build self-control. Talking together about routines, planning, and responsibilities helps children practice organizing their thoughts. And allowing children to struggle just a little, without stepping in too quickly, builds persistence and problem-solving. And very importantly is to maintain a sense of humor rather than being overly serious. Some children will have more significant EF challenges. This may depend on age and maturity and even some unrecognized and unhelpful parent decisions over a period of time. Most importantly is for parents to understand executive function and to adjust their parenting skills to the child's benefit. Parental love is essential but not enough. The key is to see EF challenges not as misbehavior, but as a skill gap, one that can be strengthened with patience, structure, and practice. Executive function is one of the most powerful, yet often invisible, aspects of early childhood development. When we understand it, we can create environments where children feel capable, supported, and ready to learn. By nurturing EF, we're helping children build the cognitive tools they'll use for the rest of their lives. There are numerous books that offer advice on how to develop an intelligent, social and emotional healthy child. These may be interesting and supportive but often not a roadmap towards better parenting skills. Executive function in children is an integral part of everyday life from getting up to going to bed. Many parents may recognize their own positive executive functions, but some may be reluctant to recognize where their own executive function are not models for their children to mirror. The pressures of work and family can make it difficult to always implement the very best in parenting, but some positive and sensible changes can be applied, rather than hoping for the best and assuming that all will turn out well in the end.